and Peter and I decided to live far away from civilization, as far as you can get. And we planned to go for 4 seasons to live off the land, hunting. I learned how to hunt with a bow and arrow. And we were nomadic, and we moving from one valley to the next. And that's what we did for 7 years, because after 1 year we didn't want to go to town and back to our old life. And 1 became 7.
Hello everyone, I am Ben Fogle, dressed like a Boy Scout in my buffalo gilet here at the Kendal Mountain Festival with my friend and wild woman, Miriam Lancewood. Now, Miriam and I have just done a talk here at the event. And Miriam, I think it would be good for you to start by telling everyone a little bit about your current lifestyle. How would you describe your lifestyle? Where do you live and who do you live with?
Well, I'm Miriam Lancewood, and at this moment in our life, we are living in a sort of a shed, a little stone cottage in the Rodopi mountains in Bulgaria, quite far from the nearest village, 1,200 meters up high, beautiful forest around, and that is filled with wolves and bears. It's unbelievably wild. You wouldn't think so, but it's true.
Now, I've visited your home. I know for you it's a positive luxury compared to how you have lived in the past, but I think by most people's standards, it's quite basic. It's what we'd call off-grid. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, for us it's luxury because we lived in a tent for 15 years, nomadically, mostly in New Zealand. In the later years, we walked through Europe and Turkey.
And we being you and your partner, Peter, how did you first meet? How long have you been together? Tell me a little bit about you both.
I was 22 when I went to India. And there I met Peter, who's from New Zealand. And he is much older than I am. He was 52 at the time. So we've been together ever since, 24/7.
Now, I met you both while making my series New Lives in the Wild. It's how we became friends. As friends as you can be, living in totally different countries, with you living far more off-grid than I do. But I visited you both when you were in the midst of a pretty epic walk, 2,000 miles or so, all the way across Europe from where to where?
We started in France, we ended up in Turkey.
In Turkey. And that was living fully nomadically. So just explain to people a little bit more about how you were living, how many possessions you had with you at that time.
Yeah, we were long walking at the time. Long walking means you're walking through countries. And they're all routes, all through Europe, the E1, E2, E3. So we followed the E4. And every night we're sleeping in different places. In the forest, often sort of hiding because it's not quite allowed. And always cooking on a fire. And it's amazing what you get away with, actually. And yeah, that's how we ended up walking through Bulgaria. And that's where we found this very cheap little stone cottage. And we bought it.
How cheap is cheap?
€2,500.
So your current home, you were able to buy for €2,500.
That's right.
Remind people, because I do know this, but remind people what your living expenses are per year.
Yeah, it's very low. We're not very good at making money. We're very good at saving money. So we're spending around £5,000 a year for the two of us. Yeah, just by having at the moment, we have a very big vegetable garden. We're eating a lot of wild. We always go out for dinner, which means find the cherries and the raspberries and all the wild food. And yeah, we have very few possessions because I believe the possessions possess the possessor. The more you have, the more you worry about stuff. Yeah, so it's much better to have less.
Tell me about the first. You've had many adventures with Peter. I've met Peter. I describe Peter as looking a bit like Gandalf. I think is that fair? Am I being cruel or rude?
No, that's it.
But very wise, beautiful man, beautiful soul. Yeah. You guys have been together for nearly 20 years now.
That's right.
You've been on many journeys together, but there was that one that you did crossing the Himalaya that sounds like it was quite a pivotal moment. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, that's when I met him 20 years ago now. He was looking for someone to cross the Himalayas with because that was his dream to do that. And for me, the same. And together we went and he said, we will go like the shepherds, the the Gedi shepherds. And he said that they are people and we are people. We're just going to go the same way. You don't need a tent. You don't need a fancy mat, fancy sleeping bag or shoes even. So we
You
understand.
don't need a patched gilet like this.
We didn't know about this. Anyway, we went without all of that. And we slept in the open or in caves. And we just brought peanuts and chapatis. We didn't have nothing to cook on. And so went light. And we went over 8 mountain ranges, 3 over 5,000 meters. That was a fantastic journey. It taught me that you can survive with very, very little. And
talking of surviving with very, very, very little, you went on to live for 7 years living nomadically in New Zealand.
That's right. Our real adventure started in 2010 when Peter and I decided to live far away from civilization, as far as you can get. And we planned to go for 4 seasons to live off the land, hunting. I learned how to hunt with a bow and arrow. And we were nomadic, and we moving from one valley to the next. Also, because I was hunting small animals like hares. And after a while, there are not too many to be found. So we had to go to the next valley and hunt all over again. And that's what we did for 7 years. Because after 1 year, we didn't want to go to town and back to our old life. And 1 became 7.
And you're still married and still friends?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, very good friends.
A lot of people will wonder about boredom. How do you keep yourself active? Do you have a routine? How do you live for 7 years, just the two of you, completely on your own in a very wild, remote part of New Zealand?
Yeah, that's right. Our mind had to slow down to meet the rhythm of nature. And that took about 2 or 3 weeks. Felt like a long time. And after that, it's much easier to do nothing, to sit and look at the fire. But it's actually also quite busy. Always have to get firewood. Hunting. Sometimes I don't succeed in the evening. Have to get up in the early morning, go out hunting again. And we played a lot of chess. And of course, we had some books with us, philosophy books, that you can read endlessly and still not understand. And a lot of conversation. Peter has had so many experiences. And he's still telling stories I never heard. It's unbelievable. I should write them down one day.
Speaking of writing down, you've written 2 very successful books, a third one that's about to come out now. And you've also started embarking on some journeys on your own. Tell me about why you're doing that.
Going on my own? Because 7 years ago now, Peter suffered from kidney failure. And he's okay now, but he needs to be in one place. That's why we're in Bulgaria. He needs to just take it easy. But I don't need to take it easy. I'm going off on my own. I organize my own expeditions. I feel much more mature now. Of course, I am a bit older. I'm not the 22-year-old anymore who went blindly after Peter. I do my own things now, and I like to organize my own expeditions. Just think them up, invite some friends, and go over mountain ranges like Peter and I did in the beginning. And to become more confident, because I think confidence comes with skills, testing yourself, and surviving, and think, wow.
Your first book that you wrote was Woman in the Wilderness. Tell me about women in the wilderness.
Yeah, we never see them. Where are they? Not in New Zealand. We see some trampers, as they say, hikers, but never hunters. Never met any hunter woman. I think because a lot of women are sort of addicted to comfort. Yeah, and I think us women have to overcome that sort of sense of security and comfort, and face. We can face the elements just as well as men. You just got to do it a little bit more often. So I hope to inspire women to go out there.
And you've got a future plan. You're looking for teammates.
Yep, always. I like to set up female teams, and next year I like to go into the Himalaya with a group of 4 women and climb over a 6,000 meter pass. That's the highest I've ever done.
Amazing. I contacted you out of the blue. I was coming to the festival. I kind of wanted to share a bit of Miriam Lancewood with the wider world here. I was totally sort of enthralled by yours and Peter's life. I visited you twice out in Bulgaria. Have you enjoyed your time here in Kendal?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I've been to a lot of writers' festivals, but I always feel like the odd one out. Here, I feel like I'm totally one of them. Everyone is dressed like me. Yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic. And thank you so much for getting me here.
It's my pleasure. Well, Miriam Lancewood, thank you for joining us at Kendal Festival. That is us. That's all from us. You haven't heard anything from me about my life, but I think you probably know a little bit of it. It's all about her.